This is Bobby C. out at Madison Square Garden, and we begin our look at sports this Friday morning with the New York Knicks, who took on the Denver Nuggets Thursday night. Bobby Portis said the Knicks are still trying to find their way and build and make progress despite mixed results.
Obviously, adversity hits always at some point. Ours just hit early on in the season. We just got to keep fighting through it, sticking together. The cream always rises to the top. And I think we just keep working, keep building, keep trusting one another each and every day. It's not going to rain forever.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good week, but we're not putting it on Fizz. We're going to take that ourselves, us as players. We got to go out there, we got to perform better. He can't perform for us, so but it has been a tough week for sure.
We're a really good defensive team, in the paint. So when they were kicking out, we just, you think if the shooters fast enough, they made a lot of shots. It happened. Just got to think about the next game. There's nothing we can do about it now. It's just, try to correct those mistakes.
Sometimes when the teams come west to east in that first game, usually a little bit of a struggle, but there was no signs of that tonight. Is that something you try to speak about with them coming into that first game?
Yeah, well, more importantly, we've lost 2 games in a row. And, if you want to be a team that's truly competing late in the playoffs, you can't afford 3-game losing streaks. You got to right the ship right away. I think going over to the gym last night, letting our guys sleep in this morning was also beneficial to adjust to the time change. But this is a business trip, and our guys approach it the right way tonight, and we know we have a heck of a challenge waiting for us tomorrow night.
Hard to say if that indeed will be the final crushing loss for David Fizdale in New York. No breaking news as of yet. The Knicks win some quarters here and there, but for the second straight game simply could not muster enough of an effort over 4 quarters to put together a win. Now, granted, the Nuggets came in at 13-5, but it did certainly seem like the effort was not there in defeat for the Knicks. To top it off, Denver used a balanced scoring attack to crush the orange and blue. Will Barton scored 17 points. Jeremy Grant added 16, and Monty Morris had 15. The Nuggets shot 56% from the field, had 8 players reach double figures, and snapped a 2-game losing streak in the process. Most telling stat of the night, though, Denver's backups scored 74 points with 5 double-digit scores. No surprise that Fizz called the team's effort sickening. Up next, the Knicks host Indiana on Saturday night. Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Nets are in Charlotte, tonight. The Nets are 11-10, coming off an easy dub against the Hawks, where Garrett Temple scored a season-high 27 points. Spencer Dinwiddie had 18 of his 24 in the second half, and the Nets rolled 130-118 on Wednesday night. Sticking with the association but changing area codes, not backing down in their fight to overturn their 135-133 double overtime loss to the San Antonio Spurs, the Houston Rockets plan to file an official protest over the James Harden dunk that wasn't counted, multiple media outlets reported on Thursday. As for the game on Thursday, Harden scored 6 of his 23 points in the fourth quarter after leaving the game briefly at the end of the third with a head injury, and the visiting Rockets defeated the Toronto Raptors 119-109 last night. You could make a case that Harden was the Western Conference Player of the Week. 60-point game, and the scoring machine continues. Luka Doncic also was amazing for Dallas, but that honor went to Carmelo Anthony, Portland's resurgent star in his NBA comeback. For his efforts, the Trailblazers will change Melo's contract into a guaranteed deal, ESPN reported Thursday. Nice story there. To the NFL gridiron, though they remain atop the AFC East with a 10-2 record, the New England Patriots continue to experience setbacks. The latest involves 42-year-old quarterback Tom Brady, who was limited in practice Thursday due to toe and right elbow injuries. Age be creeping up, Rena. This age be creeping up, yes. In an unrelated story, left for dead by NFL standards, banished to the bench in New York in favor of a rookie quarterback, Eli Manning is ready for his swan song, folks. An ankle injury to Daniel Jones likely means that Eli will be back under center Monday night against Philadelphia in the city of brotherly love on Monday Night Football. The 4-8 Jets will host the 3-9 Miami Dolphins Sunday at MetLife Stadium, 2 New York football games with 0 playoff implications. The Chicago Bears kept their slim playoff hopes alive on Thursday Night Football. Conversely, the Dallas Cowboys are slipping away. Final score, Chicago 31, Dallas 24. Bears QB Mitch Trubisky had 4 scores, 3 by air, 1 on the ground in the win. The Cowboys still control their own destiny in the NFC East despite their third consecutive loss. Dallas is currently in first place. Can you imagine this? In this dreadful division at 6-7 and remain a half a game ahead of the Eagles, who are 5-7 and can tie for first place in the division with a win over the G-Men Monday night. Even if the Eagles win their next two games and the Cowboys lose in Week 15 against the LA Rams, when the teams meet in Week 16, it will be the first for first place in the division and the right to represent the NFC East in the playoffs. A win by the Cowboys against the Rams in Week 15 would set up Dallas for the NFC East title with a victory over the Eagles. Imagine if the Giants had played just a bit better. Time for some quick hitters. MLS runner-up Toronto FC will visit the San Jose Earthquakes in one of 8 matches to be played on February 29th, the opening day of the 2020 MLS season. Time just flies, doesn't it? On the ice, an overtime score by the New York Islanders propelled them to a 3-2 win over the Las Vegas Golden Knights Thursday night. Rangers also notched a 3-2 win. Artemi Panarin scored the decisive goal, leading the Broadway Blue Shirts over the Blue Jackets on Thursday night in Columbus. In college hoops, for a 9th consecutive year, the Fordham women's basketball team won the annual Battle of the Bronx against Manhattan, this time in a defensive battle, 51-45 on the road last night. For a second straight season, Bree Kavanaugh earned MVP honors, leading the Rams with a 21-point 12-rebound double-double. With the win, the team's 4th in the last 5 games. Fordham improves to 4-5 overall, while the Jaspers fell to 2-5. The Fordham men will have their Battle of the Bronx tomorrow afternoon at Rose Hill. They tip at 2 p.m. against the Jaspers. The Los Angeles Lakers' LeBron James took to Instagram on Thursday, one day after he was criticized by the Utah Jazz announcers for celebrating teammate Kyle Kuzma from the side of the court while not wearing his sneakers. James, who had given away his shoes to 2 kids in the crowd, gave his side of the story through his Instagram account. Open quote, "Imagine doing your job at the highest level to where you're not needed anymore, giving your shoes to a little girl and boy who you inspire and hope that you made proud that night, then cheering on your teammates because you love them and want them to succeed at the highest level, and then being criticized for doing it," James wrote on Instagram. Score 1 for the King. We hit the C-list for the guy the Yankees are set to pay like the new king of the Big Apple. There was that alert on the phone as I swung through the door last night. Rena, coming back from that just dreadful Knick game, needed a smile, and there was the Bronx Bombers ready to give me one. They are back, folks. Daddy is ready to spend for Christmas. No more cheapo consolation prizes. All signs are pointing to Garrett Cole in pinstripes. After coming up short against Houston in the American League Championship Series in the fall, the Yankees appear poised to go after the Astros ace during the winter. According to a report Thursday by ESPN's Jeff Passan, the Yankees will make signing the free agent right-hander a top priority, and ownership has okayed a record-breaking offer for the pitcher. That was a great alert in the early morning hours. The 29-year-old Cole was 20-5 last season, leading the American League with a 2.50 ERA and the majors with 326 strikeouts. He was an all-star for the 3rd time, finished second to teammate Justin Verlander in Cy Young voting, and helping lead the Astros to within a game of winning their 2nd World Series in 3 seasons. According to the report, the Yankees grew more interested in Cole after meeting with him this week. They also met with Steven Strasburg, as you saw in the picture, and decided shortly after that they are comfortable with an offer eclipsing the 7-year, $217 million contract by David Price that he landed in Boston in 2015. The report added that the LA Angels are preparing for a bidding war with the Yankees for Cole's services, and that the final offer is expected to go beyond $250 million. Cole is 94-52 with a 3.22 ERA at 192 career games, all starts in 7 seasons. He spent 5 seasons with Pittsburgh after the Pirates drafted him #1 overall. Yankees had originally drafted him out of high school. They also missed out in a trade with Pittsburgh before he landed in Houston. Looks like Brian Cashman's white whale is coming home for Christmas. And we rejoice here in the Bronx. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.